Hi crafty friends, Kathy here. If you're new, welcome to my channel, and if you're not new, welcome back. And today is a very cold, snowy day in Minnesota. It's almost like blizzard conditions. Good day to stay inside and get organized. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know where you are, and let me know what your weather's like. So I did take a week off of making videos. I had some family stuff come up, so I'm hoping to dive into it today with a organization video. And if you're like me, your ribbon storage is probably a mess. If you're not like me, congrats. I'm proud of you. But this is my ribbon, and it is a hot, hot mess. So I'm aiming to fix that today. This was one of my things that I had done one time to try to stop the ribbon from spooling, but it didn't really work out. So I'm going to show you the hack for keeping your ribbon from unspooling. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to store it. So I got this from the Dollar Tree. I do have this in one of my other organization videos. The Dollar Tree that I went to only had one in stock, so I was only able to get this one. I will be going back to other stores to try to find more. But it's just a wine holder, and your ribbon fits perfectly in these. So once we do the hack of straightening up the ribbon so that it doesn't unspool, this is going to be a nice storage solution. The only drawback is there's nothing here to block them from falling out. So I would recommend storing them maybe against a wall or something so they can't fall out. Maybe put them on a shelf. And I did have a storage rack that was made specifically for ribbon that I got at, what's the name of that store that went out of business? Not, the one that's like Michael's. For some reason it's drawing a blank. But anyways, I got it before they went out of business. And it was great in theory, but at the time my ribbon kept coming unspooled and it looked really sloppy. And if you barely touched like one of the ribbon spools, if you touched it a little too hard or bumped it, the whole spindle of ribbon would pop out and ribbon would go flying everywhere. So I decided that option did not work for me. So this is my solution. Now I will tell you that I did not get this idea on my own. I'm not brilliant enough for that. I got this idea from Sunny Day Stamping. I think her name is Juli Baca. She's got some great ideas and some great videos out there. And I think she got this idea from a couple of other demonstrators. But basically what you're going to need is you're going to need a paper trimmer. You're going to need a pair of scissors, some glue, and then the punches that I'm going to use. This is from Stampin' Up, and they are available right now. It's called the assortment. Punch assortment is what it's called, or something like that. But it's got this small little sliver cut, and it's got an 1/8 circle, and then it has this other one. So the ones that we're going to use today, well, basically, I'm going to only use this one. Just need some heavier cardstock. I just have the regular cardstock from Stampin' Up, and it's 5.5. I already got that at 5.5, but then you're going to cut 1/2-inch strips for however many spools you have. I did notice that sometimes it doesn't cut straight, and I watched in one of my videos that as soon as I put this down, my paper was shifting. So I always got to make sure that I have it right up against the edge. I'm going to just cut 3 for now at 1/2 inch. Put this away for a little bit. Okay, and let's start with this white one. So we're going to just feed it through, and then we're going to fold it up. So it's about 1 inch or so, maybe a little less than 1 inch. Doesn't really matter, just so it's not coming past this part. And it's maybe about halfway up here. Then I'm going to fold this over so that they line up. And then I'm just going to cut this excess off. I write left-handed, but I do everything else with right. So this is a little awkward to cut for me this way. All right. So you see I have it folded there. I think I need to make it just a little bit tighter. Okay. So see that? They meet up. They're pretty much straight. And so we've got some fold marks here. Draw in the middle, just kind of where we're going to want to put our cut. And we're going to take our punch. And so I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to do it where you can see. There's my line. It's right in there. All right, so now I have a punch. So let's fold these over, kind of like when you're burnishing your score lines. It's the same thing. Fold this one. I think I've got one more. This one. Okay, so then we're gonna make sure I did this before, and I did it where I fed this one through first, and that was the wrong way. So you want your cutout to be near the top up here. So if you're holding it in your right hand, just make sure this is like under your thumb or something. But you're gonna feed it through. Let me actually, before I do this too much, let me spool this back up. I'm gonna feed it through, fold it again, come over here, hold it tight, and then we're just going to glue. So put some glue here, and maybe some glue on this one. So Julie's video was much better because she's a really good teacher. I'm letting my glue dry. And now with this ribbon underneath it, we're gonna take this and we're going to just feed it through. Might have to fold it up to get it in there to start. Kind of like threading a needle. There we go. Now I got it. Okay. So it holds it and it keeps it from unwinding. And if you want to tighten it up, you just roll it this way. And you know, this one is actually sticking a little bit because of the glitter on here. So you could just take your punch and make your, so punch out a little spot, but then punch a little bit more so it's a little bit longer. And I'll show you how to do that on the next one. But then to actually pull the ribbon out, you just simply pull it the other direction. So now I'm gonna wind it back up, and now this is all secure. So when I put this in my little ribbon holder, I'm gonna put it so that part's on the bottom so it doesn't show. And then it looks all nice and neat. Okay, so for now, for a bigger ribbon, something like this. It's basically the same thing. You're gonna take your, sorry, I'm getting a mess over here already. Clean this up. So for this one, we're pretty much gonna do the same thing. We've got our 5.5 by 1/2 inch. Feed it through. Just gonna come up here, fold it, and then come over here and fold it again. Kind of line them up. Sorry, there we go. And I'm gonna cut some of that off so it's not hanging in here. So this technique should work for most of your ribbon. Cut a little bit off, and then let's mark our lines. So for this one, we're gonna mark it in the middle again, but we're gonna almost go to the edge of the spool. we want to make sure we have enough for the ribbon to feed through. So the trick for that is to take your ribbon and start it at the end, this end here, line it up. I don't know if you can see that. I'm just gonna cut, and then I'm gonna move it down to the edge or to the other ending. Can you see that? The line is in there. So there's that. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It's fine. So I'm gonna fold these, make them a little more secure. Okay, and then we'll feed it through again with this up at the top. Feed that through. Let's put some glue on this end. And some glue on this end. Make sure that your ends meet up on the sides here. And I'm just holding it to get it secure. I think that's dried enough now. And then with the ribbon, again, with it this way, now we're going to feed it back through the hole. So we're going to go up over it and under. Pull it through. And to tighten it, we just bring it back this way. I probably should have cut it a little longer, but it's okay. It's still working. You could have brought your punch down a little bit more to make it just a little bit longer. And then to loosen it out, you just pull. So there's that one. Throw it on the bottom, and then I have 2 neatly spooled rolls of ribbon. For this next one, the one that I tried to do with my own hack, which didn't work, I'm gonna cut this little ribbon off. Now, Julie, I think I don't know if I said this already. Thin ribbon like this, she used the 1/8 inch circle for the opening for the ribbon to be fed through, but I found it was getting stuck because of this texture of this ribbon. It's like glitter, so it wasn't flowing. So we're gonna just do the same process as the other ones. 5.5 by 1/2 inch. I'm gonna feed it through here. I'm gonna cut some of this off. I've got it tight. Okay. Draw my little, well, she just put a circle in, but I'm gonna just draw a little line just so I know where to punch it. So I'm gonna come back over here and line that up in my punch. And then I'm going to fold these. And it really doesn't matter if you don't fold them. It'll still work the same way if you don't burnish them down. So now we're going to glue it. I'm going to put some glue on this one. And some glue on this one. And Julie makes this a lot easier than it is going for me, because I am just not a very hands coordinated person. My hands just don't work like everyone else's. So it's a little bit of a challenge for me, and I'm sure this process will look even easier when you do it. So don't let my awkwardness shy you away from trying this. Okay, so that's secure. And this ribbon's a little tricky anyways. It was already getting caught up before trying this technique. So it might not flow as easily, but I don't have any other thin ribbon to show you. So basically it's the same thing. With the ribbon underneath, you come up and over and in back into the hole, and then you just pull. So now it stays straight. It doesn't come unwound. and you just pull it to get ribbon out, and then go back the other direction to tighten it up. And if you go too far and it comes out, all you have to do is just feed it back through again. So there's my ribbon now. And I'll have, after I do this with all my ribbon spools, I'll put them back in here. Or put them all in there, I should say. So the last one I wanted to show you is this one here. And I'm not going to do all of those in my drawer. I'll do those off camera, but I just wanted to show you how I'm going to straighten that out. So take one that has a little more of the white exposed. So it's probably going to be this one. And you're going to make like a cap for this. And basically it's a half-inch piece this way. And we're going to cut that to 2 1/4. And, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you're just going to kind of mark somewhat near the middle punch for this one. I said I wasn't going to use it, but I forgot that I was going to show you how to do this. So basically you just line up your dot, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just line it up somewhere in there and punch out your circle. And then what you're going to want to do is wrap this around. Tightly. So it's like a cap, like a tight cap sitting on there. And then you're going to glue it. So I think that's pretty tight. Let that come unwound a little bit so I can put some glue on. Put some glue there. Uh-oh, there we go. Thought it dried up on me. And some on the other side. And then I'm just going to hold it here. You don't have to burnish any fold lines because there are no fold lines in this one. Just going to hold it. Make sure it dries, the glue. So then now you have this little round cap-like thing. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take your twine. You're going to just feed it through. Pull it through, and then pull it up and over and back into the hole. And then you're going to just set it on here and just twist it to tighten it up. So then that will keep it from unwinding and getting tangled up with your other twine. Now, I don't currently have a place where I store these. I don't really have a lot of twine like this. So if you've got a suggestion on how I could store this, please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear. So that is it. And then let me just tell you about a couple deals with Stampin' Up! Right now. It's bonus days, and which means that if you shop for every $50 you spend, you get a $5 coupon to spend later. I think it's early February that you can start reimbursing those. And also if you spend $75, you can buy the product of the month for $5, which is a really nice one this month. It's a stamp set with sentiments. I don't have it to show you because I ordered it. I'm waiting for it to come. But if you want these products, this is what they are, and I'll have them linked in the description. And if you don't already have a demonstrator, I would love it if you would shop through me through my online store, and you can do that by taking a photo of this QR code. And then also if you want to check out any of my current projects that I've worked on, My website is www.kathysoleycreates.com. So I hope that you guys liked this video, and if you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to see future videos on either cards or maybe an upcoming video, maybe on a scrapbook layout and also some storage ideas and hacks, then please hit the subscribe. And thanks again for watching and putting up with my mistakes and my troubles. Like I said, it's not as easy for me, but I try. So hope you guys all have a great night. Thanks. Bye.